Hi, how's it going?
What's going on, guys?
We're piped in. Rock and roll. I am 8BitSteve.
And I am Sync.
And we are going to be doing Golden Axe on the Sega Genesis for you really fast.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal of the speedrun, right? Is to do it really fast. It's a beat 'em up, so there's a lot of things that can go wrong because it's all about positioning and manipulating the enemies. And this game does not like when you do that.
Well, it's very unforgiving.
Yeah, it's very unforgiving. So hopefully we get some of the cool tricks. If not, it'll still be pretty fast. Faster than most people in the world can do it. So, yeah.
Nude.
Yeah. All right. The timer will start. I guess I'll count it down for you. 3, 2, 1, go. This is one of the best soundtracks, I think. Oops. Not a good start off there.
So this is that time where we specify who we are. I'm playing as Tyrus.
Yes, I am Axe Battler. A lot of the stuff, and this is the same with pretty much all beat 'em ups. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get the enemies to do exactly what you want them to do by positioning and manipulating. The big problem with this game is that the enemies can only lock onto one player at a time. So playing with two players makes it
stuck him twice there.
A lot more difficult because if I get too close to an enemy that Sync's locked onto, he'll change players and he'll move around. So we have to make sure we're far enough apart from each other and we're in our spots.
I just ate that input. Wow.
Yeah.
There we go. Crap. Bring him down.
Backup strat. That'll do.
That was weird. Huh. Okay.
So we're just gonna toggle this guy.
Little thief ping
That's a
pong.
lot faster with two people. 360 no scope sword. That's just a fun thing we like to do, so we don't go insane when you're playing this game 2,000 times. That guy's gonna jump off the world, so it's that guy. Now the interesting thing here is there's a pit there that we just got those guys into. It never despawns. It's still always on the left side. No matter how far we scroll, it's always on the left. So we're gonna put a lot of enemies in there. We put that guy in there. And you'll notice if you play other beat 'em up games that that's pretty much the case as well. The pits usually are never despawned. The programmers just never really thought of that. Yep, you're good. So this is going to kill this boss here right away. That's the fastest magic animation that you can do. It's a level 4 Tyrus magic, so we use that one.
Yeah, a lot of the game is managing your magic inventory. Having too much or not enough is it. Come on.
Yeah, so we pick up a specific number of magic potions because the thief will take 2 potions from each player at the end of a stage. So if I don't have any potions, then that's 2 less potions we have to knock out of him at the end of the stage.
Whoa. She went flying.
Yeah, she's off. There we go, okay. So that's not exactly what we wanted to happen, but it's pretty close.
It wasn't horrible.
That was not horrible, no. This trick here is the hardest trick in this game. It's probably one of the hardest tricks that you can do on a retro game. I have to dash into the screen tear here and get high enough and far enough to the right to spawn both enemies. I did not do it there.
There you go.
It's very specific. I basically have 2 frames to jump and do it. And while there's a screen tear, so I have to time it specifically. It's very hard.
Yeah.
All right. That's still
and you run. You normally get it 70% of the time.
Yeah, I can get it at a high percentage, but it's just...
It's just those 3 times out of 10 that you just can't.
Which is usually when I'm live on a marathon. That's when I can't do it. So it's very difficult to do. So yep.
Too early. Oh, no.
You're good. And we're just going to use magic here again to kill this guy and the other bosses. There is a strategy here where you can not use magic on that guy and use it on the next stage, but since we have 2 players, we don't have to worry about doing that. It's a single-player strategy that can save some time.
There you go. I want to... So here, I'm trying to help get as much magic out of the thieves as possible, all while avoiding any of the magic, because we need all of these potions for 8-bit.
Yeah, if he picks up one potion, it's basically a reset. I mean, obviously we wouldn't reset here, but you know what I mean.
There you go.
Okay. Sometimes you just have to hit the other guy.
Sometimes you just gotta fall on the sword, you know?
Yeah.
Got another pit over here, so...
We call that guy Robert Horry. I don't know if you guys get that
It's a
reference at all.
sports reference. We're from Detroit.
Yeah. And because he ruins runs just like Robert Horry ruined championships.
For the Pistons, anyway.
Yep.
There you go.
He does a lot of really
Attempt
random
to do
stuff.
a down stab here. Ooh,
You got
only got one.
You can hit both of those
The
guys.
goal is to get both of them, but...
Yeah. Also incredibly difficult to do inside a screen tear.
There we go. Let's see if I can down stab this guy. Yep.
Oh.
So
I got a
close.
little cocky there.
There we go.
And these guys won't actually die right away, even though I'll use magic. They'll have to come all the way out of the floor before they die. So, and that's why we, in the single-player version, you have to have tiers have magic there, so you can't use it on the previous boss. There's one off the screen there. Okay.
There's 3, right? Is there 4 there?
There was one off the screen, yeah. That's okay.
Got it. Oh, well. So now we get to improvise. We're 1 magic short.
We are one. Yeah, we are 1 magic short. So it just means I'm gonna have to deal with some skeletons on one of the bosses that's coming up. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Right off the stage.
Cool.
Again, we're gonna use this pit pretty extensively. Oh.
Oh,
All right, we're gonna do this strat's called kick strat. It's not the fastest strat there is for these guys, but it's pretty fun. And again, we're gonna use that pit off the side of the screen.
not good. I died.
Yep. I'm gonna try to keep these guys in the center here until he respawns. Go ahead, I'll reset this guy.
Never want to.
So that death I took there was intentional.
Bring him back.
Yep. There you go. So you can kick these guys off the side of the screen into the pit. Generally, we can get them both at the same time. We did not do it there. But again, it's all about positioning and accurately executing your movements. If you make one movement mistake or you're slightly higher, slightly lower, slightly too far to the right, slightly too far to the left, things just go south very quickly. Especially
Man, he
on
was
the Sega.
coming straight for you. I couldn't get him to lock onto me.
So yeah, and that's another, like I said, that's what happens. So something we're going to do here is if you take the enemies to the bottom of the screen, they are not able to move out of the way of your down stabs. And it's a very useful trick. I suggest anyone trying to play through this game just take all the enemies to the bottom of the screen and then do a down stab to them. That move there is the down stab. So generally, we kill these skeletons with our magic, but we were 1 short. So I'm just going to play around with them here until he kills this boss.
There we go.
Yep, and then we have to kill this guy. There we go. All right. So that was a pretty good backup strategy. Did we soft lock the game?
We locked it.
Yeah. So we actually just talked about this before we started. That's very rare. If
That's
a player,
hilarious. Oh my gosh.
So we soft lock the game. If a player is continuing while that boss dies and he continues after the boss is dead, it soft locks the game. What do you guys like us to do here? We soft locked the game.
Yeah, we're like 80% of the way there.
Yeah, that's only happened one other time. Yeah.
I take it this game doesn't have like passwords or anything like that?
Oh, no, that'd be too easy.
Not that I know of, no.
Okay, yeah, just restart.
Okay.
Awesome.
We'll eat the 8 minutes.
Yeah,
it's
hi,
fine.
I'm 8BitSteve, and this is Golden Axe. We're going to be doing it real fast for you. We will try to make that not happen again.
So 2,000 plus runs. That's the second time we've done that.
Yeah.
First time live. So
yeah, we've never done that live before. That's hilarious. Yeah, we've played this game thousands of times. It's somewhere between 2,100 and 2,500 times. And that's only happened once.
If I, the girl who fell through the floor and the girl and the robot at GDQX, the second time I had ever fallen through the floor ever, blamed you, I would be a hypocrite. So you're fine. Just go.
Just go? Okay.
Yeah.
Just hit it.
let's do it.
That's not a PB.
Coordinated misses there.
Yeah. So I guess I can talk about that trick at the start of the game is one of the hardest things to do. Sync starts farther forward than I do, so he has to wait a certain amount of time for me to catch up to him. Otherwise, when we dash, his enemy will spawn first. So we're trying to dash at the same time and be the same distance away from each other so that we can spawn the enemies at the same time and then downstab them both. It's a lot more complicated than I even made that sound. And we missed it twice.
No.
We did not get it the first time. I wish. All right, we'll try to get this boss strategy, though, for you guys, at least this time.
I mean, pressure's off now.
Yeah,
once you
pressure's
soft
off.
lock the game, I mean,
Yeah, once you're soft lock.
it doesn't get better than that. So I mean,
So in that part, the two big guys don't move until
Back and
two
forth.
enemies have been killed. So I just toggle the enemies on the bottom there, keeping them busy while he downstabs them. But if I kill them too quickly, the guy will move and the trick won't work. All right, again here we're going to use the pit. The super pit of Golden Axe Death. And we're going to use the pit again there. There's a really cool trick at the end of this game that I really want to show you guys. Hopefully we get to the end of the game. Just kidding, we will. Just kidding.
I doubt that's going to happen again. If it does, I'm playing the lotto or something. Because
It's just funny because we were just talking about how that had happened once.
yeah,
I
like
shouldn't have.
15 minutes before the run, we talked about
I
it.
shouldn't have said it out loud. I was like, "Hey, remember
Tempted
that?
fate.
Remember that funny thing that happened that one time when I continued during this boss?"
You should try to do that and see what happens.
Yeah. Again, 360 no scope sword.
So tightens the co-op signature there. The things you do after, you know, the 100th time of hitting reset in one night, the things you come up with, you know.
Yeah, trying to find things that make it fun and not drive you insane are part of the process of being a speedrunner.
I mean, Golden Axe was pretty easy for me because when I got my Sega Genesis as a child, this was a game that I had.
I jumped too early, but backup strat, nope.
Oh, crap.
There is a backup strat where I can slash both of the enemies in the corner and let him just go to town on them.
Come on.
He's getting a couple of them,
Come on.
so that's good. I'm going to get him back in there for you.
I got to bring him out.
Yep.
Crap.
These guys have like, I think
Bajillion.
it's like 1 million hit points.
bajillion
I think.
hit points.
Yeah, they have more
There
hit
we
points
go.
than some of the bosses do. No, I think
There
it's
are some
actually
skeletons at the end of the game with Deathbringer that you'll see that actually have the most hit points in the game.
yeah, they have 256
right,
points
grab
of
him.
health. Yep, I got him. All right, yeah, I'll do it. There you go.
Ooh, that makes me nervous. Sometimes I jump early there.
Yep. And again, we could play this game 100 times in front of you, and different things would happen every single time. It just depends on the positioning.
Oh, that's the fun of it, though. Right?
Yeah. It's a very RNG heavy game.
Helped you out there.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Once again, I'm just trying to get as many potions out as fast as I can without collecting them there.
Right forward.
Yep. Oh,
Man. So we have a strategy there that we invented. It's very difficult. And I didn't do it right. So that's how that...
I'm getting double
this is-
teamed in the
this is
corner.
what- yeah, this is what happens when you don't do things right in this game. It just punishes you immensely.
there you go.
Yeah. So the two strongest moves are that backspin, we call it a backstab, and then a downstab. The downstab is when we jump up in the air and do this. That does the most damage, but it's hard to do because you have to do 4 buttons to get that move to work. And it's tough in a lot of cases. Also, when you do a downstab, the enemies know, like, they're smart, so they move out of the way of it. The programmer's programmed in a way for them to know that you're doing that move. So we use it to manipulate the enemies in some cases. Later on, we're going to do that.
Oh, he dodged my backstab. That was nice.
That was pretty cool. So yeah, I used the down stab. If you're in the air and you turn your character, the guy will fall in the direction that you're facing. So you can actually down stab him on the left and throw him to the right, or vice versa, depending on what you want to do. All right, there is one off the screen there. There you go.
Get it.
So we have the right magics this time.
Sweet. No dying on the boss.
Yeah, no dying, right?
There we go.
Again.
Scared her off with your sword there.
Yes.
we
Well,
go.
I have a pretty big sword.
Hey now.
So Axe Battler's sword has a slightly bigger range than Tyrus' sword does, and so that makes him useful in some scenarios. However, Tyrus has that kick move, which is really powerful.
When done correct.
Here we go.
There
So
we
that's close enough. So that's kick strategy. And again, we just put them into that invisible pit that the programmers never despawn off the side
The
of
pit
the
of
screen.
misery. Dilly dilly.
Yeah, they do it. Thank you, whoever programmed this game. I think I'm pretty sure the guys who programmed Streets of Rage also programmed this game. It uses the same character engine.
I got him.
Yep.
No, I don't.
So this is what happens to enemies when you try to do down stabs on them. They just walk away. They don't like it. Let's bring him. I'm gonna bring him down here. There you go.
He is putting in work.
Yep.
There we go. All right. Now I gotta try to
Usually, yeah, like
bait him to come out.
yeah, we usually bait him, let the other guy get dashed by him.
So now we have the correct magic. We'll get rid of these skeletons pretty easily. I'm gonna set this guy up for down stabs here. No, I'm not. There you go. I got
Good
it.
job. Yep. Yep. So no soft lock this time. This is what it looks like when it doesn't soft lock. We're gonna do a thing here. It's called super fast buttons. Here we go. Super fast buttons.
It's amazing. You're an artist. All right.
All right, here is the area where we use the most pits because they're just pits
It is.
everywhere.
It's all pits. So
Yeah. The
one would
entirety
say
is
it's the pits. Am I right?
Maybe. Yeah, guy in a pit. Two guys are in a pit. Another guy in a pit. There you go. Yep. Some guys are gonna fall off the edge here.
Holy cow.
We need a very specific number of magics for a trick that we're about to do. That was really, really good. Okay, so there's two statues up here, and they're on a timer, so they spawn after you kill a certain number of enemies or a certain number of time has passed. We accidentally discovered that if you use magic, it hits the statues and triggers them early. We discovered that a couple years ago, and it saves quite a bit of time. And it's used in the single player and the co-op run.
Get him? Nope.
Yep. No, Knights are not having Axe Battler right today. They just okay. There we go.
All right, guys, here.
As you can tell, more pits. You can see a trend coming. All right, I'm gonna try to do a really fun. I think this is funny, so I'm gonna try to do a really funny thing here. And don't know if I'm gonna be able. There we go. Okay. Come here. Come here. Come here. Damn it. Come here. He's gonna probably kill him before I end up getting it. So you can get these two skeletons to lock onto me, which they won't do because there we go. Then I can just do this, and they basically won't hit me.
There we go.
And the idea is you lock them on early, and then you move out of the way. That's time, by the way.
Well, are we doing credits or are we doing?
That's time for the run, but we're gonna run the credits. So the credits are actually longer than the speed run.
That's true.
They take about 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes. Yeah.
But they introduce all the names of the characters that you just saw, so.
Correct. Yeah, so anyways, like I was saying on that boss, you can lock the 2 skeletons onto one player, and he just walks up and down, and they never hit him. And then the other character just downstabs the boss in an infinite loop. And that's basically it, man. If you're going to play Golden Axe, use the backspin, use the downstab, and try to keep the enemies to the bottom of the screen. And it's obviously way more fun co-op, like pretty much all video games are, right?
I mean, we are. That's who we are. We're Titans of Co-op, right? So.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of co-op records. A lot of them are beat-em-ups. We have some records in Shumps, arcades, NES, Sega, Super Nintendo, pretty much a whole gamut. Some modern stuff coming out. We stream on Twitch, and we just hit affiliate actually a couple days before we came here, so that's pretty awesome.
Thank you. So yeah, definitely check us out, Titans of Co-op.
Yes, please do. We're going to be as many places as we can be. We love doing co-op stuff and playing out with you. Hopefully we don't have any more soft locks though, so that's our first live soft lock for you guys. That's just for you. We brought it just for you. So I don't know why the credits are so long in this game. They just decided to a lot of games have it where they list all the enemies, but this takes an immensely long amount of time. Plus they have heights and weights and attack levels and move levels.
Well, then there's the animation. There's like a baseball animation after the after they show you all the characters. They just drag it out. What's odd is, and it's pretty funny. At least it's funny to me. A lot of the people who made the game don't credit their names in the credits. They come up with all these weird names, and well, you'll see it here shortly.
Also, something kind of interesting is some of the enemy names are named after alcohols.
Yeah.
Like Lieutenant Bitter. There's
a Bad Brothers vodka, I think.
Yep. And then there's a Heineken reference to one of the characters, so that's also interesting. In the arcade version of this game,
Sergeant Malt and Sergeant Hop. Right.
Colonel Bitter. In the arcade version of this game, there's less levels. So in the Genesis version, they added a couple levels, which is like the pit level and the additional boss that we fought. So it's a little bit longer. Also, I personally believe the arcade version is just inferior. The controls are worse, and it's a lot harder to play, in my opinion. Also, the Genesis has better music, right? So
I think so, but I'm a little biased.
This is a chicken leg. This chicken leg is actually also present in another game you might know. It's called Altered Beast. They actually just straight up stole that character from that game. So
they stole a lot of stuff in this game. I mean, I don't know that they stole it, but like I know for a fact a lot of the death audio when the characters are dying are ripped straight from Conan the Barbarian. Or the Barbarian.
The movie. I'm not sure if they had the rights to do that or not, or they had some.
I mean, back then, who cared, right? Evidently nobody.
Apparently nobody cared.
The all-important Villager A and Villager B, they were a lot shorter back then.
Their mom was like, what am I going to name you? I think I'm going to name you A. and your sister is B.
Death Adder Jr.
And I think with that, we are going to start setting up for our next run. Thank you so much for that excellent run of Golden Axe. Thank you for bouncing back from that soft lock. Stay tuned for another co-op run. Something a little more modern. We have N++ with Ploff and Komaru.